Ethics of Online Advertising Methods. A dramatic reading. Computer advertising has only become a problem in recent history, but it has quickly become a huge problem regarding the ethics of which these methods are being used. There are many different ways for companies to do online advertising, from pop-ups, quick videos, and social media. But with any new technology that has been developed and will be developed over the years, new problems regarding ethics will continue to appear. Name Redacted and Name Redacted of Group 6 represent the against side of this issue of online advertisement because we believe that the way these businesses use these advertisements have become a detriment to the people they are trying to reach by ways of harassment, privacy invading, and other unethical methods, all in the name of trying to get as many people as possible to buy their product. Since the first online ad appeared in September 1993, computers have evolved year after year, become faster, sleeker, and more reliable. With this advancement in technology, businesses also had to evolve and try to reach out to as many people as possible. At first, the ads were fairly simple and didn't have any real ethical issues. They were simple banners and tags that the user could click on, and they were a few on one page at a time. Pop-ups and banners. It wasn't until October 2000 where ethical issue began to bud with Google's AdWords. AdWords is a place where companies can pay Google to link their users to an ad, among other options when a user searches for a keyword. This gave seed to the many unethical ways of which businesses use to advertise, like with the constant pop-up ads that can be viewed as harassment, or forced video ads that show up on websites. For years, people have complained about the pop-up ads and banner ads, finding them annoying and just a pain to get rid of. According to Nicholas Justin in their research on pop-up ads back in 2004, when it was really prominent, 78.9% of the respondents called pop-ups very annoying. It is not that one ad pops up at a time. Many cases, tens of ads would pop up at a time, and you would spend 3 minutes finding the X button and click out of the ad only to have a couple more ads show up on your screen a few seconds later in the worst of cases. It got so bad that people began to download AdBlock on their browsers. In fact, in that same 2004 study, 12% of those same respondents used some form of AdBlock. Today, AdBlock is bigger than ever, with more than 198 million users worldwide, according to the PageFair ad blocking report done in 2015. The reason why the number has skyrocketed over the years is because of all the creative ways companies have used online advertising. Social media and search engines. With the expansion of the internet over the past 13 years, just how creative these companies With the expansion of the internet over the past 13 years, just how creative these companies can be. First, with the invention of social media, companies found that this is a great way to get as many people as possible to look at their products. The way they do this is they basically charge companies on a pay-per-click basis. This is when companies pay for every click of traffic that is sent from a social media site to the company's site. This might not seem so bad at first. Actually, it is a lot similar to Google's AdWords, but social media sites have started to take it up a step further. Let's say Facebook, for example. Facebook started ads in 2006, and it has advanced to the level today where companies would send you ads based upon what you post and comment on your page. Facebook and Google were one of the first sites to implement this method of building a profile on their users, and the ads that were shown were determined based on the company bidder for keywords the user either searches or posts. For example, Doug Gross of CNN said in a 2012 article about this with the relationship between Google and Facebook, saying, "A Facebook user visits a travel site to Las Vegas, only to receive a travel site ad next time he is on Facebook." This method doesn't sit too well with people. They think that these big companies have a profile on all their users with all of their likes and dislikes on a sheet of paper. Amazon further expands on this by having their own methods of targeting users for their online advertising. Karsten Vide said to the Wall Street Journal's Rolf Winkler and Greg Bessinger, that Amazon plans on doing this by using the data on user buying behavior to determine which ad to send to their users. Amazon already does this with their own products by recommending products you might want based on your past purchases. Even Twitter has on way of doing online advertising. It is very similar to Facebook in the way that it allows companies to buy keywords and butt tweets by It is very similar to Facebook in the way that it allows companies to buy keywords and butt tweets by the main page. Twitter also has an algorithm that companies use to hit their target audience based on the type of people they follow and what is written in their Twitter feeds. Once again, people feel a little uncomfortable with the amount of information these companies have on every single one of their users. Many thought this as an invasion of privacy and believed that this should be illegal, but find that they really can't do anything about it because this is 100% legal. Like with many electronic products and services, you cannot use their services without agreeing to their terms and conditions, which many users don't realize that these companies have the right to make a profile on you. Email marketing. Email marketing is also one of the earliest and one of the most used forms of online advertising ever since it was invented in 1993. The concept is very simple. Companies send out mass email to potential customers. These emails contain all kinds of content like coupons and promotional codes, and they have proven to be very effective. But email marketing also has a situation where people feel annoyed by the sheer amount of emails from companies they can receive in one day. Email user often finds themselves receiving hundreds of emails per day from different companies, making it hard to distinguish between important emails and spam. People even have complained about receiving emails from companies even though they have unsubscribed from receiving emails several times. For some, it gets so bad to the point where they end up having to change their emails just to get away from the constant bombardment of mail. Most see this as a form of harassment, much like how pop-up ads are viewed. Ethical theory. When it comes to online advertising or advertising in general, the general consensus is that utilitarianism is the ethical theory that is most closely related to advertising. According to Internet Encyclopedia of Philosophy, utilitarianism is the basis of an action being morally right or wrong depending on the effect it has on people. With this, utilitarianism tries to look at the people as a whole and tries to see the effect it has on people, mostly while striving for what is right for the people. But this is as it is seen by the people who view advertising as a means to gain information on a product. Utilitarianism casts a pretty wide net and tries to affect as many people as it possibly can, and for a theory that is trying to tie itself to advertising, it is a good fit. But we believe that it also has a strong tie to egoism from a company's point of view. Egoism is the act of being motivated by one's own will and desire for oneself, according to Internet Encyclopedia of Philosophy. Now we are viewing the company as one whole instead of one individual. The company has its own will to sell products, as many products as you can no matter the method. What we are basically trying to say is that when it comes to advertising, utilitarianism and egoism are two sides of the same coin. While utilitarianism can represent advertisement in the eyes of the consumers, egoism represents advertisement in the eyes of the company. Consumers can see an ad online and believe that a company is showing them this in order to show a product that can help improve their lives and that can be seen as morally good. While on the other hand, that ad can be filled glorified claims in order to increase the appeal of the product to further gains to the company. If I had to choose which theory has the strongest ties to online advertisement as the world is today, I would say egoism definitely has a stronger presence than utilitarianism in today's society. The way online advertising is today, companies are trying to gain more and more attention for their products and are spending more and more money to do so. Advertisements back in the early stages of technology can be seen as utilitarianism because most ads would be about important information that can be seen as morally good. But in today's society, millions of dollars are being spent on telling us about different products so they can sell more. Companies like Google and Facebook are basically selling information on their users for millions of dollars, just to improve each of their respective companies. So for this framework, we believe that utilitarianism and egoism exists with online advertising, but they are two sides of the same coin. Our position. We believe in today's society, one would see the methods that are used in today's online advertising should be seen as unethical. Every day, with the advancement in technology, companies are finding newer and newer ways to get their messages across to consumers, and with that, naturally, ethical issues begin to sprout up. First, with the issues with pop-up ads, with the large amount pop-up ads that show up on the screen at a time, one can say that it can be considered harassment. Computer users have called these ads annoying and just plain impossible to ignore. In the worst cases, one can experience pop-up ad after pop-up ad each time you close a window. Some companies will even take the liberty of make the closeout button as small as possible so users will have a difficult time closing them or end up accidentally clicking on the ad instead. This is why over the past 13 years, the number of computer users using AdBlock has skyrocketed. When it comes to social media and search engines, we believe this is the most unethical of all the online advertising methods used by companies. Like what was said previously, social media and search engines are basically selling their users' information to different companies for their own profit. This can only be seen as an invasion of privacy, while all these different companies has all the consumers' likes and dislikes on a sheet of paper. Even though Amazon isn't a social media site or a search engine, their method of advertising can be seen as unethical because they are taking all the information on what you bought on Amazon, running it through an algorithm, and giving hundreds of different companies information on things you probably don't want to buy. Not only are search engines building profiles on their users, but also with the keywords searches, a lot of times they are keeping you away from the content you need and instead are stuck looking through content that could very well just be an ad. When it comes to email marketing, they are just as bad as the pop-up ad in regard to how annoying the frequent emails are sent to your inbox. To receive hundreds and hundreds of emails from companies you've never heard of can take its toll on a user. Even when users are constantly trying to take their names off the email lists, they still end up on the email list. Rebuttal. Online advertising has a lot of benefits in of itself. You receive a ton of information on some amazing products, and the companies that make a profile on their users may come of some help. But that doesn't mean should have all the different personal info on yourself on file. Disaster could happen and a bunch of your information and others' information could be stolen by some third party. For multiple companies to have all that information on hand can only be unethical. Supporters of these methods may think that this is opening up to a world of different products, but in all actuality, it is just an annoyance and an invasion of privacy. We're excited. The end.